Hey there crafters, and we are here with the Countdown to Christmas project. This is 24 festive themed projects over the next several weeks. We will be airing these on YouTube from Monday to Thursday. I am joining my wonderful friend Tracy Bish, where we are going to take turns at presenting these. Today's project is day 15. And this is yet another little project that is not a card. It is a chocolate box. We have a very famous little chocolate, a round chocolate, that will fit 4 or 5 of them in this little peekaboo box. This was my turn to share this with you, and I was very excited. If you haven't already, make sure that you subscribe both of our channels so that you can be notified of this. I'm going to try to get into every single premiere and have a chat with you all. So let's get started. Welcome everyone. We are back with another fabulous project, and today is a little box. So I'm actually going to show you mine that I have already created, which I don't tend to do very much. But this little box here, super easy. 1 sheet of cardstock and some DSP. Very simple. Today's will be a little bit different, but not terribly bit different. It's a lidded box. So there we go. It has got the little bit of a peekaboo in it. Okay, and this one holds 4 or 5 little chocolate balls. Depending on how squished in you would like them to be. So mine is very similar to this today. Let's go through and make that one. Okay, now I have already done a bit of a instruction on how to do this one. When I say an instruction, it just has the measurements and things, so you will need to probably follow along with this video. I am doing this collaboration with Tracy Bish, and we are doing the Countdown to Christmas. So there is 24 projects in total. Here is one of them. Now this one will have a bit of a PDF that you can download as well, and this one, of course, it doesn't have to be Christmas. It can be any kind of year, time of year, as a little gift. So for this one, I am going to use today my Real Red cardstock, and that's going to be measured and cut at 20.5 centimeters square. Now I've said in all of my videos, if you are not in Australia, which is where I am, then and I use centimeters for my projects, I do always add a little converter that you can go online and convert all of my measurements for that one. Okay, so for this particular one, I'm going to move this to the side because this is where I'm going to be making sure that I've done the right measurements. But I have done a lot for today, a lot of pre-cut stuff. So this is going to make this a little bit easier to pull it together and show you. So it's probably not the super long video that we've been using. So this is using the Keeping Traditions stamp set. So this one here, when I bought it, it's really kind of marketed towards scrapbooking, but not entirely. So I'm going to use that one today. I have used it in a few other videos and some of my social media in regards to using this, not just for that, but also card making. Okay, so here is some of the stuff already done. I am going to use Garden Green as my for my stamping. Okay, I have already cut one of the labels. So this is from the traditional labels set, and I've used some gold because we are using the matching traditional Christmas, I'm going to get them wrong, but they're a whole suite. This is the DSP, so it has a plain excuse me, not specialty paper on the back here, but today we're going to use this one, and it has got this gorgeous gold that goes with it. I am going to be using these sequin dots as well, and of course I've actually brought in, so I'm not a very big fan of using, or I don't tend to use a lot of ribbon, but today we're going to have a go at that one. instead of thread. I tend to use a lot more thread. So let me start pulling everything to one side. I'm trying to have a clearer desk. I don't know how successful this is going to be, but I am going to score this particular 20.5 centimeter square, and we are going to score at 3.5, 8.5, 12, and 17. There we go. Okay, then we're going to turn it, and we are going to do 3.5 centimeters and 17 centimeters. Okay, that is all the scoring done. Okay, oops. All right, put it to one side. So let's start by constructing the box, but not gluing it together. So this is kind of the trick to it all. Now, if I go back to this diagram, this shows that we are going to clip, and we are going to clip down this one, this one, this one, and this one on both sides. So let's do that one first. We don't need to miter these. We're just going to, for today, keeping it very simple and just clipping these ones in. Now, I have to admit, I've done this type of box a couple of times now, and each time I always get confused what I'm doing. So you're going to have to follow along and have a giggle when I mess that one up a little bit, but that's okay. So we start with all of those. Okay, there we go. So we have some creases here. Now, I'm not going to be too worried. So what you need to look at is this is the larger, and this is the larger, and these are the sides. So we've got the front here and the back side, and the two, get it right, two sides. Okay, so when this comes together, I am going to add all of my DSP first. Now, traditionally when I do this, I add my DSP last to everything, but not for today. So I'm going to start by gluing this DSP, the larger piece here. So the larger piece is, there's my little instructions here. This DSP is 13 centimeters times by 4.5. So I love that these kind of projects at Christmas time are great for like neighbor gifts and things like that. Now for this one, make sure that you have glued over the entire back of that DSP. We're actually going to create a little window for that one. Okay, so for our next one is a side. So this one is 13 centimeters by 3 centimeters. I actually cut 2 of these. I'm going to glue one here on this side. And then the same size. And it doesn't matter if this DSP doesn't go together, like the pattern doesn't join, because you won't know when you won't notice when you pull that all together. So in order to do this, is going to be the trickiest part probably of it all. I am going to add, whilst I can, I'm going to add my edge pieces on the ends as well. So we're going to add that one, which is opposite our big panel here, and one on the other side as well. So I did decide to pre-cut for this video, just to make it a little bit faster, and because I already had an example done. So you can see here, I'm cutting the window here, and this window is going to go to one end. So I'm just going to bring this die in. This is the one I've used. Any kind of die that will fit within there is going to work fine. The other thing we're going to do is we're going to use a piece of acetate. Now this is the perfect time. Yes, you can use our sheet acetate, which is quite large. I'll bring one out and show you. It cuts and it's beautiful, nice and thick. However, we do get a lot of this sheeting which is still just as thick, and that's where our stamps and stuff come from. And we've used that a lot in the past, where we take it off our stamps, and we're going to not use it with our stamps, and we're going to use it for another project. I'm just going to grab a slightly smaller, I think, piece of that acetate. This one will do. So we're going to use this. Now to do that, I'm going to actually take exactly that larger piece here of DSP, which is 13 by 4.5, and I'm actually going to add 0.5 centimetre to that. So this was 13, so just to show you, it needs to be the same size as the lid of the box. Whoops. So 13.5 and 5. So like we said, it's 0.5 centimetre bigger than that DSP. So 5. I just love the fact that you can see, like a little peekaboo, you can see inside the gift. Just sort of, I don't know, kind of gives that chocolate box feel to it anyway. So this is where it's going to go in here. This is not going to be cut through, only this one. So in order to do this, I'm going to find one end, and I'm going to line it up like this, and then I'm going to use some washi tape. Now I've got hundreds of rolls of washi tape from a very long time ago that I did for scrapbooking, and it still works really, really well. Like, it's perfect. It comes off easily. If you don't have washi tape, now is the time to invest in it. Now, to get that through my cut and emboss machine, which I'm going to bring across and show you how it looks, but this won't fit through, won't fit all the way through. So what we're going to do is we're actually going to put it through the platform so that it is folded, but okay, let me see if I can get that to go. It won't fit. You can see here that that's not going to fit, but if I do move it like so, let's see if I can get it in here, I can fold it down so that it's over the top of our die, but that's not going to cut through. It's only going to cut through one side. So I'm going to pop this in, and we're going to run it through like this so that it cuts through. In the old days, and I say that, gosh, it makes me feel old, I didn't have originally didn't have any kind of cutting or die cutting machine, so I used to do everything by hand, and that was probably not bad. I used a scalpel and a ruler, but it worked fine. Now, yes, that is here. It's okay. I will show you. That's fine for it to be squashed in there a little bit, but this should now have been all the way through. Make sure it is coming all the, like it cuts all the way through before you take it off. And there we go. Ever so gently, so it doesn't peel off. Now, don't get rid of this bit, because you can use it for other projects, like so. Very, very pretty. I'm going to put it to one side because we're not using that one. I am going to flip it over, okay, and I am going to use that piece of acetate. Where's the piece that I just cut down? That's the problem when it is it's see-through. Hang on, let me find it. Is this it? Whoopsies. No, that's not, but I can make another one. It will appear when I finish my project. So that would be very silly, wouldn't it? All right, try again. It is. So 4.5, so that makes 5 centimeters. 5 centimeters and 13.5 centimeters. Okay, put that aside. Do not put it down. This is where it's going to go in here, so it will fit there exactly. If you need to, if you can see that that's not quite going to fit there, you can actually trim it back just a tiny bit, which is what I'll do here. I don't know if you can see that, but I'm even going to do it by hand. Just do it so you get a very, very tiny slither off both ends without worrying about having too much. All right, so the next one I'm going to use for it though is tear and tape. So the tear and tape I will pop on the real red. Okay. So I'm going to put it here for starters. Okay. And oh my goodness, and the next one right near where that opening is going to be, and then another one right down here to the bottom there. And you can see if I bring that up, we won't need one there. So I'm going to take the backing of these. There we go. Now I'm going to do one either side. This is just to make sure it doesn't fall apart when we're adding in our little chocolates. And of course it doesn't have to be chocolates. Like you could add jewelry or, I don't know, lipstick. Oh, lipstick, makeup would fit really, really well there. You know, homemade treats even would go really well there. All right, so tear and tape off. Do not miss or misplace your acetate for the second time. Okay, all right, this is going to go in that same section there, like so, trying to make sure that it will fold. Like I said, just a little tricky. So peel it off, make sure that it's all lined up well. Okay. And I know real red's not the best colour for you to be able to see. Now, burnish that down so it does not move. There we go. There we go. So that is going to get us the front of our box. So to do that, I'm going to, this is where I get tricky and I need to not talk too much. I'm going to glue this one. There, and this one. And because I'm using glue, and I know that I use glue, I'm going to use a little clip or two to make sure that they don't move whilst they're drying, and literally only takes half a minute for it to adhere down. Making sure that it's fairly straight. That's what I want. I don't want that to be too short, too tight later on. So that's our lid that comes open, like so. Then the base of here, our 2 tabs that are on here are going to come in together. So let me just get all of that coming inside to start with. Okay, and then this one. So this one is going to go last. So we're going to do this one first on either side. 1, 2, and now that I've done that, I can take those clips off already and go onto there. Next one. So I know that our project's coming up for all of this 24 projects for the countdown for Christmas. Tracy is an absolute master when it comes to 3D projects and boxes. So I'm just following along for the fun and having a little go. She is the expert in it all. So make sure you're checking out all of her videos as we go along. So these 2 tabs here are going to go to the bottom. So not the one with the window. Okay, we're going to come down here And this one here actually can fold backwards, so you can still use your little clip and hold it there. Move that one, line it up, and hold it there. You can see it's almost done. So that's going to just finish to dry, and I'm going to put it to one side. Here is one label. Now here is another label. I am going to use for this label just some white cardstock, which I thought I had down here, and now it's also disappeared. Dear oh dear. Okay, we'll go back to a piece of cardstock here, and I am going to just cut that off, but I am going to stamp. First of all, stamp my Make Merry. So Make Merry is going to be our sentiment, or our for our tag that goes on here. And I'm just going to put it here. Okay, like that. And I'm going to add my little my die onto there. It's slightly to one side, and that's what I wanted. So let me just a second, I'll put this through again on the side here. You probably can only just see it. Probably don't need to watch me doing it, but you'll see what's going to happen next. All right, so that one's come through. Like so. And this one, what I really like about these dies is they actually nest together. So this one here fits in beautifully there. So I'm going to add my little dimensional dots there. I'm going to keep it pretty simple with the basic white cardstock. Okay. Now, yes, I do still have my ink pad open, because the next we're going to do is we're going to stamp out. That's nice. Now I'm going to stamp out these ones, which is some leftover cardstock here, and I'm going to do our little holly leaves, which come from that same set. And yes, I only need one lot, but it never hurts to have a second set already cut and on your desk as a spare. Okay, so I'm going to cut this off, and that's going to be added to our tag. There, I've finished that one, so I can now fold it up. You can see that it's a peekaboo now, a little peekaboo window. Let me get my snips out. I'm going to cut. Now these particular stamps are almost joined, almost together. So I'm going to use them, and I'm going to ever so gently, slightly add a white border. Now normally when I'm cutting things, I have a slightly bigger border around everything as a white, but it is going on to white on here, so I'm just going to make it ever so small so it does stand out better. Okay. So I've had a lot of fun making all these projects. I'm almost finished. I actually have made sure that I did all of them ready beforehand, before we started to go live. And I love the idea that the premieres are coming up so that you can be notified, and as much as possible, Tracy and I are attempting to be able to be there so that we can be in the comments with you. If not, we'll come back and respond to any questions you have or anything like that. But I think I'm pretty much sorted that I can be there for them all, and hopefully you'll be joining in. Now, if you haven't seen them, or if you've missed a few, of course you can go back and have a little look. There we go. So yeah, that's pretty much what I'm planning to do. So to put this on, I do want to do another lot of dimensionals. Okay, so but I only want fairly smaller ones. So I've got some here on the edges and some here. So let me put one here and one here on the edges like that. And I'm going to pop that here. So this is a little bit more simplified than what I had before. I am going to, for this one, it's going to go that way. So I'm going to punch a hole here, which I do have my crocodile. So if you have ever seen one of these, you'll know that these are fantastic. I might do it here in the corner, like so. So it doesn't matter, even if it was a piece of a dimensional dot there, it wouldn't have mattered. It goes through there. And I'm going to grab that ribbon. So this is a really great idea that I can't remember who I don't know if it was Tammy White or somebody like that I actually stole this idea from. So I've got these little clips. They're like paper clip kind of ideas. Here in Australia, I got them from Officeworks. Okay, and this little, they load up into here, and then you push them, and out comes this little clip. Now, the little clips themselves get loaded into there. So this one means that everything on these spools do not move. So these ones here normally, oh gosh, I've got a pin in it, you know, like they go everywhere. This one here are fantastic. So that's what I'm using for this one. And to do that, I'm just going to pop it through my hole. Okay, and I'm going to tie it up backwards. That's not very good, is it, that I've done it that way? Okay, like so. Just want it to be a tie spot. There we go, one there, and there. I told you I don't use this a lot, ribbon, but that's okay. All right, I'm going to leave that, put it to the side, and here comes our little holly, and it's going to hold it there in place, like so. And because of the holly, it's going to need the berries as well. So for the berries, I'm going to use the really, really big, oops, I moved that out of the way, the really big sequins out of this one. And we're going to have one there, two, and there is one which I'm going to do slightly smaller so it fits, and three there. Beautiful. And then that's going to be added to here as if it's tied on, but it's not. Okay. Of course, you can add other things, and like I said, the first one I did slightly different to this one. This is just going to be glued down. Okay. Which I'm just going to do this. I'm going to add it here, the glue, just some on there, and we're going to add this. Now it's going to just peek over the top of that. Okay, and then we'll be able to add our little chocolates or treats in there. So that is our little box for today. Okay, you can do at the bottom, which I haven't done for this one, but you can actually add a little piece of white on the back if you're going to be writing in that to someone in that, or you know, like there's a little bit of room to say who it's from and whatever, or you just keep it like that, nice and simple. And this is probably, for most people, I would probably give them a card as well as a gift. Okay, so that's it, guys. Thanks so much for joining me. Make sure, like I said, you've been following along with Tracy and I for all of our projects. The information for them are in descriptions and things like that. You can follow along back to the links. But if you are following along with us, or you've really liked this, please make sure that you are subscribing. Make sure that you also like and comment on all of our videos. We've gone to a lot of painstakingly organizational issues to get through to all of this. Not really issues, but with a lot of organisation. So I hope that you have found this really useful, and it's a pretty easy little project. Once you've done one, you can actually put lots of these together yourself quite quickly. And look, how easy is that? Half a dozen, I don't know, lint balls or Ferrero Rocher or something like that would look really great in those, and easy for a gift for a neighbour, a friend, or whatever. And you can always make it something other than Christmas. Thanks everyone for joining me. We'll see you with our next video.